Hey guys, today I'm bringing you a PLAT 4 jungle VOD review that I've just completed recently with a summoner. Now, they're playing on Ekko this game in PLAT 4 Elo, and the summoner isn't too sure about what they're doing wrong in the jungle, what they're doing right, where they should be focusing on. So it's a very holistic VOD review in that we really break down early game, mid game, late game, objective play, micro, macro, ganking, all these things. We break them down, and in particular we focus on objectives, Rift Heralds in particular, because they're such an underutilized objective and secure in elos from, you know, diamond all the way to bronze and iron. Micro as well, just little micro movements. Team fighting, so positioning, when to go in, when to wait for your team. Deaths, so how you can avoid deaths, really high death rates, what we can do differently to avoid deaths in his next games. And then ganking, so increasing gank rates, making sure your ganks are as efficient as possible, setting up ganks to succeed, and also flanking. So what position should I be in to try and flank, particularly on a jungler such as Ekko? So anyway, without further baffling and babbling, let's get into this VOD review. Alright, cool. So this is obviously against Kane, and what I feel like when I play Ekko versus Kane, I always want to out-gank him and try and make sure I dominate him as much as possible before he gets form. Because, you know, Kane's at his weakest pre-form, which is usually the first 9 minutes of the game. And then in terms of what
Sure.
lanes... so you're duo with the Trist? Is that correct?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, cool. So whenever I'm duo queue with someone, I'll always prioritize their lane as well, because, I mean, comms makes ganks so much easier, so hopefully you do that as well.
Yeah, that's always my plan if I do someone.
Yup.
It makes
And,
everything easier, so.
and this pathing is just a ward and then back, or, okay, just to protect?
Yeah,
So
it's normally to ward, but I was kind of insecure on the enemy Kane because I played against him earlier, and he usually just invade my red
okay.
at level 1, so I was like, kind of insecure, should I go up or should I not?
Yep.
And they obviously spotted me here, so I was on my way down to and when I was about to press the ward, they just all came for me, so I just had to upgrade my E
Yeah. So
and started going.
in hindsight, just if you and Kane get here at the same time, so if you want to ward this bush, just chuck it now. Like, because
Yeah,
you'll avoid this whole little problem here. Because look, actually at his position, you actually get to this brush at the exact same time. Instead, you kind of...
yeah, and I stopped dancing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of bad. Not bad. I agree.
Because, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
just
don't
have
have to
to.
flash, but you start E, which isn't ideal. But it's good you didn't start any spells. Oh, do you have to flash? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, they flashed for me, so I had to get out.
Yeah, and then Ori
The
flashes
Oriana
as
kind
well.
of.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
so
kind of into this
so
one.
to avoid that double flash, just chuck the ward and then walk away, because you don't need to be here once you've got that ward. You can go back over
Yeah,
to here, you can sit here, or, you know, you can go anywhere you want. But if you're
yeah,
going to ward, just ward, because this ward, like, Kane's not going to invade here. Like, he's not going to do his blue and then come invade, so it doesn't matter what time you put this down, because Kane's almost always will start at their raptors or their red. They never start at their blue. So they're either going to start at your raptors or red, or their raptors or red. So that ward protects either way for that.
yeah. we kind of knew the left, so I
Yeah.
headed back to my red buff. And here the Jacks got really upset that I was starting my red. He was super mad.
Oh,
He just started
so stupid.
like the normal toxic EU West attitude.
Oh, he
He was not
started
happy
it.
about me
Wow.
starting red. Yeah, he
That's
started it
kind of
actually,
nice
and that
of
was
him.
pretty good.
Yeah.
But
Because
he left quite quickly because he doesn't want to lose his wave. That's kind of understandable.
And also now, as soon as Jax gets into lane, they're going to know that Jax leashed for you as well. So that's information that if they're smart, they'll know that you started top. And so now they can pretty much track you for the next minute and a half to
5
2
minutes.
minutes of the game. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say 5 minutes actually.
Yeah. Yeah. Well.
If it's a good jungler,
Yeah.
they would know.
So Kane goes for the rush game.
No. He goes.
So you're just clearing this is fine. Okay, they get out. Again, so obviously a bad start, but Kane's already kind of out jungling you.
Yeah, I got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was kind of fucked when I had
Yeah,
to start
yeah.
my E.
Yeah.
Actually, just fucked me over.
He comes in, okay.
And I meet him here, and I just get even more fucked. See the ward, and I'm like, nah, dude. Kind of like, is he going or is he not? I just kind of leave.
Yeah, I'd just give that. Yeah. It's a bit of a shame. And that's something as well, like if I'm versing an Ekko, I know that obviously you had to start E. He knows that. But Ekko's first clear now, they've made it pretty weak. I don't know if you play, much Ekko, but his first clear is
Yeah,
substantially weaker since those little nerfs he's done. And so
yeah,
a
I know.
really good time to invade an Ekko is his first rotation as well, so it's good to know that when you're versing Ekkos as well.
hmm Yeah, I actually do know about those nerfs. I played him quite a bit,
Yeah.
and when the nerfs came, I kind of stopped playing it because I didn't really feel like he was a good champ anymore.
Yeah.
So. And here Jax gets solo killed. He was. He actually started blaming me though for his death there. Really upset that I didn't gank top, and it was a
That's when I
couple
just mute someone. Yeah. That's the
yeah, it was just a couple racial slurs.
Oh, Jesus.
Not anything worse. I was super upset that I didn't camp top for some reason, but I was like, nah, dude, I'm just gonna mute you
Yeah.
and do my thing.
Nice. Alright, there's
I was
your
actually
first.
tempted to just take his way over there as well, just to annoy him more, but I
Yeah.
won't win by taking it, so I just left it.
Yeah, that's a better call.
I didn't really want him to just leave the game. 'Cause even though my team here kind of inted the entire early game, I tried to have a positive mental
Yeah.
for the game
I mean,
and
besides
actually
Jax, I mean,
try
Kane.
winning.
Yeah, Kane ganked bot and mid, so it's like ganks versus no ganks. It's hard not to kind of
Mhm.
lose your lane. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's
He
frustrating.
can't really like blame me for getting
Yeah, oh
soloed as
yeah, the
well.
Jax definitely can't.
And he did disrespect the Aatrox level 2 and
Yeah.
3 plus 4, and he was still level 2 when Aatrox was 4,
So
and he didn't respect it. So
yeah. So in this situation, I'd kill this Scuttle and then come back up and go for Aatrox again because we know he's got his Summoner's Burn. And obviously Jax is tilted, but something like this could just make him a bit happier. I know we shouldn't really play to the people who are racist and everything, but that could just be a
yeah,
free gang.
I was just spamming chat,
Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
started ignoring him. So I just completely left him to do my own thing.
Yeah, because this is just a bit risky.
Yeah, it's super risky. I know. I knew that when I started. I was like,
Yeah.
it's risky, but I'm just gonna take the chance. And
Because
yeah,
yeah,
he came.
I think instead if you went, I think if you just took Scuttle and went up here, you guys might have been able to get something up here. And I know the Jax has
hmm
been a fuckwit, but I don't know. I think that's the better call than the blue buff. Because you're not actually, like, you're behind in XP, obviously. But,
hmm
I mean, obviously in 10 CS, but unless you had this Kane tracked, which you probably didn't because we got outsmited in
Yeah,
one v1.
I kind of had a feeling that it was on his top side because his top side wasn't cleared yet.
Yeah.
So
So, and also
I was
just use
just
the
gonna take
Scry's
it.
Bloom as well if you want to do this. Because that would just avoid this whole situation. Like, you'd either
Yeah, that's
know,
true.
okay, we're going to be competing for this blue buff, or okay, this is a free blue buff, and then walk away. Because you've got lane pro here, so, like, LeBlanc's not coming. It's always going to be a 1v1 here. The only person that can come is Aatrox, because he's pushed. But, yeah, just use the plant, then reevaluate, should I take blue? If not, just go top. Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah, I agree. I agree.
And again, we kind of want to be trying to get a gank off for our duo as well, because they're just perma-pushed. Tristana
Hmm.
Soraka. And, like, perma-push lanes are perfect for Ekko. I know, like, bot side jungle hasn't really been working. But that's just, like, such an easy gank. And there's really no vision you could come around here. Obviously, in hindsight, we can see where they have vision. But, like, coming around behind the dragon pit, or even just using the cone over and just running them down.
Hmm.
But you're also playing catch up, so you got to kind of find that perfect balance. Make sure you don't
Hmm.
miss your cues on jungle camp.
You actually saw that. Ah, I was hoping for that not to happen. Well, yeah, I missed it. Sadly. This was like 6 a.m., so I was kind of tired as well. So
Yeah, fair enough.
I was about to go to sleep.
See, so after this could still be a pretty good lane to gank. I know you're a bit low mana, but instead of doing Krug, I'd just be trying to influence the map at this point. I know you kind of come out of this game like 18 and 8 or whatever, but I just
Mhm.
think Kane's now ganked like once, twice, 2 times. You've not really ganked top once because you just came up and got the clean kill. You got to
Mhm.
start getting on the map, particularly as Ekko. I mean, he's got a strong pre-6 Ekko. It's not bad. It's certainly stronger than Kane, yet Kane's ganked more than you. And obviously we're playing
Mhm.
catch-up, but only play catch-up to a certain extent and understand that your allies are also playing catch-up when you're behind as a jungler. So if you can somehow help them get ahead. Because now Tristana, you're on comms with her. She's full mana. Obviously she doesn't have sums, but she's full mana, full health versus Draven with 320. Your flash is now pretty much almost up. You just use this, run over here.
And kill him.
Yeah. And I don't know what you guys were comming at this point, but like if I was the 80 carry, I'd just be like, yeah, just come bot. It's a free kill. Which obviously you now look for, I assume. At least you got the level 5. So yeah, a bit late. So I would have just done it before the Krug. Sorry, before the Frog. Oh, unlucky. A little stutter
Just
there, and
get
you
it off.
missed it out.
Yeah, I had a little stutter. I was like, first I didn't see them, and then I was like, oh wait, he's actually there. I kind of stuttered it.
Yeah. And then I'd also use sweepers here because, I mean, you haven't really used sweepers yet. So just always good to just clear vision. I mean, that one's got a 10-second timer on it. But make sure you use your sweepers because there's no point in having a jungle item. You may as well just keep the yellow trinket if you're not going to use it.
Hmm.
So what, like, do you think about what your plans are? So like I'm about to hit level 6. What are my plans? Who do I want to gank? Do I want an objective? Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? Do you think about that stuff or?
Yeah, I usually do, but
Okay.
in this game I was kind of tilted, so I
Yeah.
just couldn't have a plan. So when I first of stayed here to actually see if LeBlanc would stay, she kind of just went to recall, and I went to start clearing again.
Yeah.
And Oriana obviously saw that I went to continue my clear,
Yeah.
and
So in this situation,
just
yeah. So in this
yeah.
situation, I'd just help Ori push out because she's low mana, low health. I'd just come in here, soak the XP with her. She might get tilted actually, so try and judge that. Say like ping on your way, and now start CSing. And if she pings you danger or fuck off, just leave. But ideally, the jungler should be helping her push out here because she's at risk of this gank. And I know it's like solo queue and you don't know this Oriana, so she could get completely tilted off that. But I'd just try and do it, see what she says. If she reacts negatively, just leave. But in this situation, you probably would have saved her life. I don't know if she dies here.
Yeah, she dies. She dies.
Okay. Because now she can't really
And
push this wave out. It's a cannon wave, so it's super hard to push. And all you had to do is just come over here, show some support, push it out with her. You win the 2v2 in this situation because LeBlanc's pretty low. And obviously Kane's level 6, so it's probably a pretty close 2v2. But at least you get to push out the wave for Oriana, and she gets a safe reset.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she dies 1v1 anyway.
Here as well, I could just go mid. But
Yeah. So, like, early game jungler, it's not just about ganking, it's not just about farming, it's also about helping your laners get optimal resets as well. And obviously, people might rage if you come and help clear waves, but in a situation like that where Ori's low, she just wants to back. So she's probably more than happy for you to come. She's got a CS lead anyway. Obviously, she's got 2 kills down. This could be good. See, now that LeBlanc does the exact same thing, Kane should have actually helped her push out, but LeBlanc gets greedy and goes for that. I'd also try and buy like a control ward or 2, so generally by the 8-minute mark, I would have probably bought 1 or 2 control wards. And you know,
yeah, I had a control ward on
yeah,
map.
oh,
I
you
had to
put it
check
there.
them.
Yeah, cool. Sorry.
Yeah.
Forgot about that. Again, hopefully we can get a gank off bot lane, but they've got that control ward there.
Yeah, the gank of bot lane is coming here.
Yeah, cool.
So I'm just grabbing this.
Because again, this is perm push, so even this vision, even like, I mean, you won't get seen here, but by the time they see you here, it's going to be kind of too late if you time this right. Okay, good sweeper. Oh, they just don't see him. Good little master remote BM. Good placement of your shield. Nice. Good stuff.
I don't know what her flash was. Just not lucky.
And again, this is a lane that you should help push out. So obviously, okay, you're baiting. That's fine. But like,
Just
obviously,
doing a little
Kane's
dance.
waiting here. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I think we killed the Draven here, so...
This is really bad by the Kane. Oh, okay.
Actually, I ulted here.
Oh, no.
I ulted here.
Okay, you still get
because I was like gonna try to just kill him with the ult.
Yeah. So that's really well played. Perfect here, just waiting. Obviously, you're on comms as well, so that stuff happens like so much easier. But also, you could have probably done this earlier. Like, is this the first or second time you've come bot? The first time you came too late, but this is the first time you come bot on a lane that you're on comms with in 9 minutes. Like, this is such an easy win, Con. Like, if you're on comms with someone in solo queue, like ganks, everything just becomes so much easier. So I think like you should abuse that. Like, there's no point in duo queuing with someone unless you're trying to abuse it, because you get a slight MMR disadvantage. So your opponents are slightly higher MMR on average because you're duo queue. I mean, that doesn't make much difference, but you should try and make as much use of being on comms as possible. I don't know if he's a good mate or he's just a random, but...
It's actually a friend of mine.
Okay, cool. I mean, this is fine. Don't know what this LeBlanc's doing. Yeah, perfect.
She's just
Come on, Jax.
checking things out.
Yeah.
Saying hello.
And so, with me, I generally like to start looking for Rift Herald pre 14 minutes, because the plating gold, you get 2 platings for free with a Rift, and that's 360 gold, which is kind of one of the biggest, you know, jackpots of income that you can get. But it can also help get first turret if someone's pushed. Obviously, every enemy turret has 5 platings up. But at the 950 mark, Kane's probably going to be looking for it as well. But I'd be looking for it as well. And now you're pretty strong. I mean, in a 1v1, you probably beat this Kane because he's not form yet.
Yeah, the next couple minutes is actually kind of dead.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything. I was kind of still working on my mood.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I was actually just gonna try to kill that Blanc here, but she kind of...
So here, yeah, I push this in. I hope you're doing that. So I push this in and then immediately track back so they don't know where I'm going and go to Rift Herald, sweep on my way. Do you clear that vision?
Did I?
Okay.
I actually ignored it. I actually had a lot of mistakes.
Now this is good. This is one I want to see more of. Unlucky because the controller. Nice, that's fine. Do you guys get out here?
I don't know how many gets out. Think someone gets out? I couldn't even R there. I think that if I pressed R, I would have killed Draven and possibly Blitzcrank. So
Yeah. Okay. Let's watch this again. So, firstly, I'd just choose a route. So this is almost always the optimal route because if they overextend here, you're still going to be able to catch them before these two die. Because it's a Soraka with a Tristana jump. Obviously, Soraka doesn't have flash or anything, and neither does Tristana. But Blitz is here, Draven's here, so this is always the optimal path, regardless of this vision. I mean, you see the vision here. You don't see the vision here, but if you went through here, one, you'd see the vision. So you now know that Kane, Aatrox, LeBlanc all know that this gank's happening, and two, you'd be in a better position to try and kill this Blitz.
Yeah, and I just started putting.
Yeah.
Like this instead.
Yeah, and then a little stutter step. So it's just little micro things. Now, here, you've already burnt the Blitz flash, so I don't know if actually going in here is worth much more, because you don't even have your ult up for another, 5 seconds or so. Your W isn't optimal. And you, in hindsight, you were never going to kill this Draven. So getting the smite and your 3-tick combo off, it's not going to really do anything. And instead, it just means all three of you overextend for a teleport, and they all now know that you're here because of that control ward. So they've had plenty of time to react, and then Aatrox gets, a triple or double. So this is kind of like pathing micro movements, and then also understanding what are you happy with in a gank. So are you happy with just burning a flash when you gank, because that should be something you're okay with. Like a gank doesn't always have to be a kill. It can just be a summoner burn, it can be a heal burn, it can be just pressure burnt, it can be resetting a wave. Like there's a lot of objectives out of ganks, and I think a lot of junglers, like myself included, I always overcommit. Like, if I gank, I want to kill because, I've come here, I'm wasting my time not taking CS or whatever. But I think we should actually be also happy with if we burn a flash on Blitz, for the next 5 minutes now, Soraka and Tristana have a much safer lane. So thinking, like, in that kind of attitude as well. Because instead now, I think this is just like a...
all of us die. Yep.
And was this pathing accidental, or did you just prefer that because you saw them kind of going aggressive?
I think I don't really remember, but
yeah,
it might be because I just saw them do that thing, just running in.
Yeah, fair enough. So I mean, you've out-influenced the Kane at least in the first 11 minutes, which is a main objective. Before Kane gets form. even though the early game was really rough, and he probably got
Yeah.
mid lane ahead to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, in this lane, I know we didn't really gank Orianna much, but she's actually done really well. I mean, she's still up 15 CS with 3 deaths. So that's
Yeah.
also suggests, like, to you that Orianna's a good player. So if you can play around her later, you know, try to. I generally try and look at those little indicators as well to see, okay, how good is my team? You know, this Aatrox has just been bot for like 3 minutes, and Jax hasn't even pushed this in. He still hasn't gotten, you know, a CS lead or, you know, CS even. Whereas this Orianna's been killed 3 times and still has a CS advantage. It's like you can kind of identify what good players you have and if you can play around them. Or, you know, can you trust them, I guess. Now, again, here, I'd just be going for Rift Herald because you've still got time. I don't know if you ever even go for Rift Heralds.
No, I ended up not thinking that I was gonna be able of doing objectives.
Because you just saw Kane. You just saw Kane Draven here. You know LeBlanc's here. You know Aatrox is here. So this is like a dragon. This is a really good objective. This is better than an early game dragon. This is like the best objective on the map. Like pre 14 minutes. Like there's no single better, because you get 360 gold straight away and you get lane pressure. Like that's first turret right here. That's you know, almost first turret. Obviously that's not. But that's first turret gold, 360 gold. And you know that this Rift Herald's free right now. So I think prioritizing Rift Herald as well, particularly pre 14 minutes, is an important thing that you should try to do. But don't force it, obviously. Because again, you just took 2 camps while Kane ganked bot, ganked mid, and now you're just like, you've got a bit of dead time here. So assume you probably come mid to see.
Yeah, I had a lot of dead time in this game.
So dead time, just go Rift if there's nothing else. And also, you should be pinging Dragon Timer and just, like, letting your team know that you're aware of it. Because it's just good practice to let your team know that you want Dragon. And I don't know if you talked to Tristana about whether you guys want to contest second Dragon. But if you don't want to...
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so even if you
We
don't want to
did talk
contest
about it,
second
but-
Dragon, get vision on it. As soon as they start doing Dragon, just go to Rift and take it. Like, if you can't contest, you don't win the 5v5, or you don't even want second Dragon, like, because second Dragon isn't that important. It's not the end of the world if you give this up, particularly if you're trading it for something that could get you 1, even 2 turrets if you play it right. Because if I know an enemy team has a stronger, you know, early game, or, you know, they've gotten a bigger lead, obviously they have like a 3k gold lead on you. I'm happy to give first, second Dragon, and then fight for third, fourth, fifth, each one after, because those are the ones that start to matter. Yeah. And so this is just wasting a bit of dead time. When really you probably could have been here soaking this, doing Rift.
Yeah, I'm actually
clearing
running up
vision
top
on
now.
Dragon. Again, I'd use my sweepers here, just so you know, you've got context of whether this Aatrox knows you're coming. Because, you know, there's no, like, where else are you going to use your sweepers? So just using your
Yeah, I could
trinkets
tell.
yeah.
I could tell that he knew here because it was just running, just fucking with me. So I kind of knew that he saw me.
Theoretically, you can flash over this.
Yeah, I am.
Nice. Oh, well played. That's really well played.
No, Kane is gonna come try to solo kill me.
He's blue form.
Yep.
Well.
So he's coming through the wall right now.
Nice. Holy. That's big damage. Well played. Let's go back.
That's also a point where I could have taken Rift Herald.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now Kane is dead.
Okay, so you didn't feel Kane was coming here, right? Because we didn't actually get vision of him, or did we get vision of him?
No,
No.
I didn't feel like it was coming. I just saw his thing through the wall and I was like, oh shit.
So okay, so you come here because you're looking to gank LeBlanc, I assume, and then you see Kane,
Hmm.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So look how long it takes you to react to that Kane. It's not that long. It's like at 1.5 seconds or so. But that's a really good dodge. Really good. It's pretty clean. Besides the initial reaction speed, that's pretty clean. But I mean, you're tilted, and this was what, like 6 a.m.
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah, it was exam.
You were probably like ready to go to bed. So I mean, a
I'm
slightly
like,
slower reaction time is okay.
I'm like tilted and tired.
Yeah. And this is a point, if you're still tilted at this point where you're 5-1 versus like a 1-2-1 Kane, you're kind of in a really bad mindset.
Yeah, but I wasn't tilted about myself. I was more
Yeah.
tilted that my
Yeah.
team had died this
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
So I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do this game? So I was just starting to do my own thing and stop
Yeah.
caring, basically.
Yeah. And this is like this sign of like not using your sweeper enough. You've got a 4 vision score compared to like Kane who's on a 12, and you've probably bought more
Yeah.
control wards than he has.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I'm just gonna abuse the fact that I was tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you actually don't think straight when you play League, and
It
you're
does.
tired.
It
You just
does
actually
poison the
just
mind.
don't think straight.
League of Legends poisons the
And
mind.
especially when you're tilted and
Yeah.
tired, it doesn't help anything.
So probably you
Uh,
shouldn't be playing in hindsight, really. You definitely shouldn't be playing at this
no,
point in time. But I mean, you
no, I
do
shouldn't.
you do kind of carry, so I guess it's
Like I shouldn't play like for longer than 4 a.m. I think,
yeah.
because after that I just get tilted pretty easy. Actually, I recently I had a 2 week vacation from this game because I just felt like it was
Yeah.
so toxic.
Yeah.
So it kind of just ruined my mental that. So it ruined my mental like IRL as well. So I just
Yeah.
became
That's a bit
really
kind of
toxic
toxic.
myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, nah, dude, I'm just gonna stay off this game for a couple of weeks,
It's
see what
actually
happens.
it's actually like it's insane League of Legends how bad it is.
Yeah, so I was like gone for 2.5 weeks, and I started playing again. I was like, oh, I can actually think straight.
This is good. So I mean, you guys don't see they're doing Rift, but you all ping to do Dragon, which is nice. Okay, someone knows. Okay, cool. So it's a good time to do that. You're probably going to lose a turret for it.
Yeah, we lose a couple turrets actually
Oh,
because
God.
we didn't think like through this, so we went down to kill Aatrox, and by the time we'd killed Aatrox, they pushed our entire
Yeah.
base in.
So as soon as you see them
So
do Rift Herald and then you see the person with Rift Herald showing a lane, you should immediately be pathing there. Because they can get an inhib
mhm.
off a Rift now.
Yeah, they almost did. So we're like standing down after killing Aatrox, like, well, just thinking,
And
what the
so
fuck did we
imagine
just
if you
do?
took
Why
this
did
Rift
we
Herald at
go?
like those 3 points that we've identified after killing Kane. After you see him here, this would never happen. This game probably would have
Yeah, this
ended
would never happen.
5 minutes
This would have
earlier.
been such a like way easier game if we actually just, or I did it,
Yeah.
not we. So instead we just end up diving this guy.
I mean, at least you're using comms now, so that's good.
Yeah, that's better. But now we
Yeah.
kind of
And so
identified
this is the
that they're
power
on
of
top.
Rift Herald. This is pretty much why you take risks. Those
Oh,
3 turret. Holy shit.
but I can happily say that me and Tristana was the only people in the game that didn't use chat because we tried to have a good mental. But it was actually the hardest game for my mental. So it
Yeah.
was like a big test for me. I yeah.
Were you typing at all, or were you just? Did
No,
you just mute? Okay, good.
I disabled chat this
Nice.
game.
Okay, good. Fuck, I love that. players who complain about being tilted and then don't like try and fix it. I hate. So many people do it. They always complain about people being toxic in chat, and I'm just like, just mute them, or like if you're tilted, just mute so you don't tilt anyone else. So that's really.
Yeah, I just completely disabled my chat.
Good.
So
Yeah. I've got a client actually runs a program so that he can type stuff, but he can never press enter. So like because he's so bad, he's actually been banned a few times. Like he's terrible.
oh really?
I shouldn't laugh at him, but Jesus. So he's like
Like,
literally
what is
killed.
his? What is his elo?
He's I think he's gold. Yeah, he's gold.
Okay.
On your on a US, so
EOS is so bad. I actually hate it. It's such a toxic server.
it's probably a lot of
And
racism, I feel like.
yeah, it is. You can't like go a day without racism on this server.
Oh, God. Nice. The flash probably didn't need, but that's alright.
Yeah, I was just scared of Kent.
Yeah. This is really good counter aggression though. So like after they get a freaking 3 turrets, you guys now go, okay, let's fucking push mid. This is maybe a little bit too ham, given that we know Aatrox is coming. We probably have visual for like, you know, he's just killed Orianna. We probably have visual. Oh no, he didn't kill Orianna. We probably have visual that Aatrox is coming for like 3 or 4 seconds. But
Yeah, you're gonna see me now. I'm gonna be super confused here on what to do because he was like up there and I knew that he was gonna go
I
down.
mean, he can't really.
I was like, should I go? I just think, should I go there or should I go here? And I went here and I died.
Yeah.
I actually tried to escape this guy for so long, so I just had to get my passive so I could possibly run away. But right here, the entire team is coming.
Yeah.
And I end up dying from LeBlanc's ignite actually. She just last hit me with her ignite.
Yeah, so you don't have vision of where the Aatrox is in this situation, do you? Did you have your
Nah,
sweeper up?
nothing. I don't. Yeah, I did use it. I think.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually
So
walking with
here,
it there, but I didn't use it. I didn't use it here.
yeah,
That's
I
my
use it here because you
like.
can actually see his position here. So as soon as you see him maybe parred up here or parred down there, that's when you go, okay, go here or go like here.
Mm-hmm. I was just running around, being super confused.
Yeah, because that's a
I
weird.
just-
That's like super weird, right? To bounce here
Yeah.
because you don't have minions. The Kane's there. Aatrox is somewhere here. You know, their whole team's going. So slightly.
I was just.
Yeah.
I was pretty much stuck.
Yeah. And in this, you should just tell Triss to get the fuck out.
Yeah, I did tell her to get the fuck out, but she used a couple years to get out, and then she bounced like that. Yeah.
At least while you guys are turbo inting, Jax is doing something, so that's good.
Yeah. We're actually inting. It's insane.
Now you're pretty far ahead of this, Kane.
Yeah, he was kind of behind. Just like 2.5k up.
You got your vision score up heaps though in the last 7 minutes, which is good.
Yeah.
Don't know what that was from. Was it from a couple of control wards, maybe?
I think it's control wards and sweeper.
Yeah.
And clearing wards.
So right now, only Draven's really ahead of you in gold.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
I'm never surprised that like Ravens that are ahead get a lot of gold, but they usually don't win late game anyways. It's like if we get late enough, we probably would win, and that's what happened.
Let's just go back. So this is a good team fight. Okay, so this placement's pretty good. I mean, I always try and get it like on an edge, so that like this Draven is gonna get hit if he tries to go here. I don't know if he gets out of this one. Okay, nice. Okay, that's actually that's pretty much ideal as well. You jump over and then jump back, making him path here. That's really good. Ooh, who's that hitting?
Me.
Nice, nice. Oh my god.
She's dead.
Good. Did you have sweepers?
Oh no,
here?
she did. No, she didn't die.
Okay.
No, I didn't have whippers here.
Oh no,
It's
she
a,
doesn't
at
die.
a later. It's at a later point where she died. I forgot. So many points. We fought so much this game. It's just fight on fight on fight on fight on fight. So it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
And of
shame.
course, you have those like a couple times where I get solo killed by Aatrox, but let's not talk about those yet.
So in
Let's
these
wait
games
till
where
they
it's
come.
just fight, 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 I mean, there's what 36 kills in 19 minutes. Try and start like resetting and like going, okay, let's look for dragon, or okay, let's break bot tier 1, or let's, you know, break tier 2 mid. Like, try and start putting up objectives for your team to work towards, whether it's just pinging them or like, you know, pinging dragon timers. You don't have to type it, but just try and get your team all on the same page. Because right now, no one knows what to do. Jax is just solo pushing. So, like, can we use this in any way? This Jax is tilted. He's probably not going to help us. Can we use his 1-5 loss as somehow a win con to get Aatrox here so that we never have to deal with Aatrox and we can get dragons? Because as a 4v4, you guys actually beat them. So, Ekko, Orianna, Triss, Soraka, you guys beat Kane, Draven, LeBlanc, Blitz mainly because of you, but also because your Tristana is like in a pretty solid position here, and we know Orianna's a good player. So if Jax can just split push, and you can use this split push to make Aatrox match him, you guys win the 4v4, you can take dragons, you can pressure even Baron after a fight, but you need to start like setting up some structure. Because how long does this game go for? Okay, it's like a 40
Like 40
minute game,
minutes?
yeah.
Yeah.
For so many kills, like this game is just like I mean, it's classic solo queue, I guess. And
Yeah,
people
and
aren't
this
gonna
game
listen
was.
to you. You can ping dragon, you can like be like, let's group, but people aren't gonna listen to you. So you also gotta take this advice, I guess, with a grain of salt. You didn't give Orianna
And
red
this.
blue.
No, I was not trusting anyone on my team, so I just didn't give anything. I gave my red buff to Tristana in the end because it's better on her.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, this
And we
Jax
just
gets
left Orianna for dead.
Yeah, because Jax is spam pinging.
And Aatrox dies here. This Soraka was super upset that Tristana managed to get her W's cancelled by Draven's E. She's like giga mad over that.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, let's not talk about that
What'd
one.
you use it? Nice. Okay, at least you use it on the way back.
I will try to
Oh.
use. Yeah, the clone fucked
Oh
me over,
no.
and she gets out. She survived this actually
That's
with
damn.
no HP though. Look at this,
Ah, that's LeBlanc though.
like barely.
A couple of micro
That was
missteps. Yeah.
quite tilting as well. And like I wanted the
No
dragon
way
on
this
this, but
Kane's
I
coming from.
yeah, he's of course he is. He always came from him. Yeah, how did that
Far out.
W hit me?
I thought you were gonna try and one tap him, but you don't have your ult, so it's actually
Uh,
quite clever
I
not
could.
to.
Yeah, I couldn't fight him. I would have died for sure.
Yeah.
He's pretty strong here. So if I were to fight him, I would just die for nothing. So I was still checking out the dragon though, making sure he didn't take it.
Yeah. So don't use this as well unless you like you've got a reason, because like right now this is actually isn't giving you any information. You know Kane's here. I mean, you might see Blitz with this, but besides that, you pretty much know the positions and you know they're not doing Dragon. So if you can keep that for your, like when you next contest Dragon, it's just like a nice little vision.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you are clearing vision with it, but you already knew this pink orb was here.
Yeah, I didn't know before I used to fucking.
We had no. You had a
Uh,
ward. You had a ward on this control ward, so you would have known.
oh, it was a ward there?
Oh, oh no, there wasn't. Wait.
I actually can't remember.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, it was. Okay.
So you see Kane, you see him clear the ward, so now you know there's a control ward here. You don't need to use that because you're not actually getting vision of anything that you don't know about. Which is like, you know, again, it's not a game-breaking decision. It's just little things that we can blame on lack of sleep, tiredness and tilt.
Yeah, I just had to teach this.
Yeah.
Can really take the ward.
Yeah, I mean, that's the right call.
And
Now
here
it's
my
gone at
team
least.
is interested in Dragon again, so I just ping my smites.
That's good. Oh god, what's happening? There's a lot going on here. Ideally, you should be grouped with your team. I mean, because again, Jax is just split pushing. So like you and Soraka on your own here. I mean, these two get out fine.
And my Q again.
So, I mean, Jax has no way of accessing this fight. So I don't know what you guys do here, but I would just try and push a lane. Because contesting this... Oh, actually, okay, Oriana get... Okay, this is actually a really good fight by you guys. Okay, this Oriana's playing well.
Yeah, she had a lot of good plays.
Oh, that's... good. So, like, that's actually a really good outcome. I mean, a 1-for-1. You losing your support for the top laner is so worth here. But again, I don't think you need to be forcing here because you've got vision here. Jax can get a tier 2 in hindsight. Like, if you guys just, like, delay... I mean, obviously you're pretty safe here because you got your ult and you got your escape. So if there's some way you can keep these guys split, which is almost what you're doing. Oriana's playing so far back, which I guess is kind of okay because she's got the shield on you. Yeah, so they forced the dragon, which is pretty smart of them. And I think, yeah, just... Yeah. So in hindsight,
Yeah, we get no more.
Yeah.
We get no more dragons this game. They get soul.
Yeah.
So.
Wow, you guys won off Infernal Soul. Do you guys win this game?
Yeah.
Okay. You win with against Infernal Soul. That's pretty good.
Yeah. They made a couple mistakes in the last fight.
Yeah.
So
at least Jax gets tier 2, and that's why if this could have been extended any longer, I don't think it could because they just forced Dragon. But if you can somehow just keep baiting them into trying to fight you, obviously they were smart, and Draven and Kayn just started Dragon and then turned on Tristana. But when you have a split pusher who's never going to come help you, trying to use them to your best advantage is good.
yeah, they do get quite a bit of deaths in this fight actually.
Oh, you died there.
Yeah, I got 3 of them and I died for it.
No. Oh,
And she
that's
just goes down.
nice.
Yeah, she's really good with Tristana.
Really well played. Okay. Should abuse that more. And then Jax just solo dies to Aatrox. That's classic Jax. Actually, let's go back to this dragon. So what's this fight? I just want to look at if there was... So after this, I wonder if you could have... This is just, again, like, theory crafting and suggesting. I wonder if there was a way for you to come around here and maybe go for a steal. Because you've still got your ult up. And, like, obviously this is good delaying. But as soon as we see them start Dragon, which we see, I reckon, yeah, like, this is fine. But, like, trying to path over here and add pressure behind them. I know it's, like, hard to do and you're, like, thinking, oh, we want to fight or we want to stop this dragon. And it's very easy to say stuff like this in hindsight. But if we can just identify this and maybe, like, if you ever get in this situation again, this could be, like, a potential access point to dragon. You E over, you outsmite because you're a level up. You've got smite, you've almost got flash, and you've definitely got ult, so you can just run away. But instead, you're kind of, this is like almost dead space here. Like, sure, I guess you're kind of protecting Tristana and Orianna. But, like, you try and brute force the dragon through the access point that they have the most vision of and that they know you're coming from. So, like, they know you're coming here. They've already set up in defense. LeBlanc's even waiting for you to ult back. I mean, she doesn't get the kill. But yeah, maybe there was an option there.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have your ult.
No.
Oh, that was kind of close, Jackson, for once.
Yeah, these jacks became stronger and stronger for every second.
Yeah. And that's what you got to
Just
do
took
with, like, tilted
time.
split pushes. You just got to, like, let them do their thing and try and use their split push to an advantage. Whether you can delay so they get a tier 2, bait out a 4v5 for, like, 30 seconds so they can get an inhib turret, like they're almost never going to join up and help you. I don't know if this Jax ever does in this game, but I mean, it's that typical top laner.
Oh, he does after a while. He starts joining us.
Okay, that's good.
But I think he started joining us after he like realized that we could win this.
Yeah, that's like that's such a classic like story in solo queue. It's like someone gets tilted, just keeps doing their own thing, and then like the tilt wears off, and they're like, "Oh, we can win this game. Oh, maybe I'll start helping my team." Oh. Happens in like so many games.
And I think he realized that we were kinda strong.
Yeah.
He just started going with us.
Nice. Oh, bad luck.
I couldn't ult because of this silence. I should have ulted earlier, possibly.
Jeez.
And because of that, they die.
Yeah, you hard committed for the Draven.
Mhm.
Tristana gets ours.
That was basically my brain saying, Draven is the strongest person, we should just get him out.
Yeah.
But I disrespected Blitzcrank as well. And here, Jax is just taking red for no reason. I guess he was just mad at me as well. I was actually gonna give that red to Tristana, but he just took it
Yeah.
for some reason. He just didn't care.
But this is okay. You have time to get to this.
Yeah, I did have time to get to this, but I was actually quite unlucky when I was at it.
Because again, you outsmart
Because...
as well.
Yep.
This Jax is kind of playing this okay. Nice. That's really smart. Okay. Jax and Ori actually.
But
Yeah.
I got fucked over here, so...
I wouldn't jump
Actually...
in here. If you're trying to jump in here, I wouldn't.
Nah, I didn't try to jump in, but
wow,
this one came. And I always forget that they extended his range. So it's kind of
Okay,
like
let's
me
get
thinking that I wouldn't get it.
Oh, no, Jax.
No, Jax just runs in.
Oh, that's actually well played. Okay, so they keep going dragon. This is fine. Because that's you've got
Right.
vision of this, right? Sorry, Baron.
Yeah, we had
Yeah, he's
this
got
one ward
vision.
on the back.
So you don't even need a show here.
Nope, I don't. But
Okay.
I did. And then they placed this ward behind, and I didn't realize that I placed it behind. Uh, and yeah, I
Oh, you
kind of
get
messed it up.
hit by the wall
I
again.
get hooked, and I'm dead.
Damn.
And they just get Baron.
Again, I think let's come back a bit. So I think just staying even in this position is fine. Like, I reckon staying here. I mean, Soraka sees that ward. Obviously, you don't. But I think like you and Ori maybe staying here could be a bit more of a chance of trying to get this. Because now you have no vision of where they are.
And now they see me.
Yeah. Because you both go for vision. Yeah. Because this is super dangerous. I mean, you didn't know the ward was there. But, yeah, I think this is like a better access point. Because at least you could stand like here and see when the blitz is coming. But here you can't see when the blitz is going to hook you. Because they've got the control ward. And obviously you're trying to get vision so you can see the blitz hook. But I mean, if you came around here and maybe even put your ward here, that control, where's their control ward? There. So you could actually put this control ward pretty much like anywhere just outside of this scuttle speed. And then you could get Baron vision. You could see that, okay, Aatrox is low, Blitzcrank's low. Avoid this hook. So maybe, I mean, Blitz would have hooked your Orianna or your Soraka instead. But at least you might have been here for a Baron steal. Because they've got no smite, so like really, you're not trying to fight here. Your main objective is to steal Baron. So whatever position you can get into to try and steal Baron is what's like the best position in this situation.
Yeah.
And again, all these like things aren't like, I mean, this is almost a game breaker, but you still win. But like Rift Herald decisions, Baron decisions. Like these are big kind of things throughout the game that could make this game end, 5-10 minutes quicker. Obviously it's solo queue, and obviously like in hindsight it's easy to say, you should be here, not here. Because you had probably like, I mean, from here to there, that you had like 15 seconds between them killing this Baron and like you having an opportunity to steal it. Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes this game.
Yeah, no,
That's
just
kind of
sorry, I'm
why.
not saying you're not playing bad. I'm just trying to point out so that, this is actually
Yeah, like I don't really play bad, but I don't play perfect.
Yeah,
So
I mean, it's fine.
when I don't, when I like feel like something is like not perfect, I just have to look it up.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of a perfectionist
Yeah.
when it comes to games.
Yeah.
And this game, I just wasn't thinking straight. I'm usually more of an objective jungler, but it just didn't happen this game.
Yeah. This is a very
Uh,
aggressive build. I know you're carrying and you're 15 and 5. But I'd like consider starting to go a little bit like maybe like a Zhonya's or a Banshee's because
I
you've been hooked by
I
Blitz.
knew you would say Sonya sometimes during this.
Or Banshee's,
But
like if you don't like Zhonya's, like Banshee stops Blitz hooks from ever getting you pretty much. Stops LeBlanc as well.
wait, do you know that Chinese Ekko player?
No.
Xiao or something like that?
No.
No, because he plays Ekko mid though, and I play
Yeah.
jungle. That's the only difference. But I'm kind of like him, and what he says when he plays Ekko is fuck Sonas. Sonas is not good on Ekko.
Yeah,
The
but
only
I mean, you would have been saved a few times here with the Zhonyas.
yeah, I would have been said a few times,
And this
but
guy probably plays Echo day in, day out, so his like ult is always optimal. He uses like his ult as a Zhonya's or whatever.
you should look him up for real. He's the only, possibly the only Ekko player in the world who doesn't upgrade his ult, but he always have an ult point up in case he needs it, because he knows every time where his ult is gonna be.
Ah,
So he has 5k games on Ekko.
the
So
fucking nannies, bro.
yeah, so he like level 6 he doesn't upgrade anything, but he has the point ready. So when he needs the R, he just upgrades an
Ah,
ult.
that's clever. That's
Yeah, you can
actually
watch that
really clever.
on MidBeast. Actually, he has a couple
Oh, okay.
videos about him. He just uploaded a video actually, a couple days ago. So.
Yeah. So were you saving your ult like him, or what happened here?
Don't ask. I played that stupid. So my ult came up right here.
Yeah.
And I didn't press it.
And
I
again,
forgot.
so you know this. You don't actually need to engage here because okay, Jax is here, Soraka, but like you three are not like you're not the damage. Like of course you are, but Jax and Soraka aren't. These two are your damage, and you're trying to engage before these two even get here.
Yeah.
And again, you're in the position that they want you to be. They want you to be anywhere here. But if you can come around, like imagine if you Orianna, obviously you would have got spotted there. But you Orianna like come around here or like all flank together. Wait, and then Jax comes in like a pincer maneuver, or even like keeps LeBlanc and Aatrox out with this position. There's like so much you could have done here.
Yeah. That would have been such a easier decision to make if this was Flex and we were playing
Yeah,
S5.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, like if that happened, it probably
Wait, I think
end
Soraka
up
used the
being like that.
blasting cone or got hooked. Ah, she got hooked. And so here Tristana's got this kill as well, so you can just ult. You've done your job.
Mm.
You come all the way back here. Blitz has used his hook, so now you reset and get ready for Dragon. See, like
I
Triss
guess
would
I
have got
just
that without you.
Yeah, I guess I just hinted a little.
Jax is still in a kind of good position, but then they get dragged. Yeah. Just, yeah, objective play, I think, is an area you got to work on. I mean, like, that's a super hard dragon to get for you guys. Like, they've got priority. Obviously, you've got an easier access point in that, like, you know, for them to escape, they have to come out here. All you have to do is walk back. But I think objective play here is, like, what I keep focusing on. And, like, team fights a little bit, but not so much.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, just preparation as well. Like, knowing, okay, dragon's up in a minute. Should I be here? Should I be here? Should I be here? Should I be here? Should I be trying to come in together with my team? Should I be trying to, like, pick out a Draven that can, like, out-damage me pretty much now? So a bit of objective preparation, I think, is also important.
Mm-hmm.
So do you like this? Like, I know you're imitating another, like, not imitating, but, like, following someone.
Like my builds on Echo really depends on what the enemy team has and
Yeah.
if I'm like having a good game or not a good game. I sometimes build Zonias if I like really need it and I know that I can't really carry, but I can come in and do a little damage. Then I will build it. But
Yeah.
when I know that my team doesn't have damage except for Tristana, I will just go full damage and try to do my best.
Zhonya's probably could have saved about 3 deaths this game.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
could have also helped here. Could have helped here. It also, like, allows you to manipulate your ult position. So, like, if you use your Zhonyas and know your ult's coming, you give it time to, like, get to you, and then you can just ult on the spot.
Yeah, I know.
I think there's a lot of play. Yeah, like, I get why that guy, but he's, like, yeah, as you said, 5k games. That's probably a very particular play style. But, yeah, I also get what you mean. Like, you're trying to carry, so it's fine.
Yeah, this game I'm just trying to carry. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
I just want to basically win the game. My brain was like next level in this game.
Yeah.
And me being tired at the same time as I have to like use my brain that much is that's just a bad combo.
See, I've been trying to clear this vision instead of freaking.
I'm just I'm just
Your
dancing.
poor fucking duo queue's getting assaulted while you're playing the guitar.
Yeah, I kind of just love the guitar on Echo. I don't know why, but I pretty much
It
do it
helps
like
you relax.
yeah, but I can like just enjoy what it is doing for a second.
Yeah.
It always feels
An
good.
escape from the
And
toxicity.
if I all of a sudden have to play Echo mid, I can just start like spamming my dance in lane just to annoy the enemy laner.
This
They
is
actually do get annoyed, so
This is actually a really good split by you guys. A 3-2 here is so clever. And they get the cane kill. Oh my god.
yeah, he's just driven.
That's big damage. This is
Yeah,
good.
we start
This is
fighting her. I think we start fighting her for some reason.
Again, like you're in the position they want you to be in. Like there's so many flank options here. Like obviously you could assume that maybe Aatrox or Blitz is here, but I mean you could just sweep this. You could even use this cone to get around, and then like this Draven it actually becomes an axe. Like he becomes a possibility because you can W without him knowing, and obviously maybe your intention isn't to fight here, but like
No, it's not to fight.
okay.
You just wanna stall it, I
But
guess.
like here again, like I don't know if we get the kill here. Yeah, okay, so you get the kill. But like if you were in this position, I don't know, it just feels like you probably could have come over here or like even got the Aatrox as a follow-up. Obviously you didn't want to fight though, but like you're actually doing like for 15 seconds, all you're doing here is like just showing them that you're here. And obviously that prevents them from taking turret. But if you come around here, then they don't actually know where you are. They can maybe even get a bit more cautious and scared. And then, like, a fight might not even occur because all they can see is Tristana and Soraka. And they're like, oh, shit, where's Ekko? Where's Orianna? Like, where are these people? So I think, like, your positioning in terms of, like, objectives, team fights, and defense is also needs to be a bit worked on. Like, you need to get strategic. Like, how can I flank? Or how can I get in a position where they don't know where I am? I get, like, the perfect W off. I have, you know, a couple of seconds to predict or to judge where I want my W, and then I can go in. Whereas here, you're like thinking on the fly. You're like, shit, I got to place my W as soon as possible. I don't know where I'm going to place it. It's not going to be optimal, but I'm just going to place it. Or I'm just going to ult. I mean, this works out. Yeah, nice. But just if you do feel lost in these kind... Oh, okay, it doesn't work out. Do you know what I mean? Like, do you agree with that? Or do you, like, obviously in hindsight, it's smart to, like, be like,
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
this is super, this
I-
is actually kind of makes sense, but...
Yeah, I do actually agree with you.
Yeah. Because, like, in every single, like, objective fight, team fight, except for a couple where you've kind of gotten a nice flank, or not even really, like, Ekko is such a good flanker because of his mobility and his escape, and he's like an AP assassin. So if you play him like that, instead of playing him like you're a Jax or something where you're just trying to, like, defend your Tristana and Soraka, I think it could open up a lot more outplay as well. Like if you're trying to carry a game, position like you're trying to carry a game, not like you're trying to defend.
Mhm.
I mean, these guys should be.
Yeah.
Okay.
I actually think that right here, the Jax could have fought the Kayn and killed him, but instead he just used his Q to get the fuck out of there, and
At least his time wasted.
that didn't really work out. But I mean, they do spend like
Yeah, on a 410 Jax.
yeah, like 30 seconds just to get a kill,
What's this Soraka?
and like they could have pushed this, but they didn't. So. Oh yeah, this is Soraka.
This is good. Nice. That's really good. That's so good because Baron's up. Again.
Oh, the Baron that we don't get.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, this LeBlanc is super strong, and I misposition quite a bit.
Oh.
Yeah, I queued up
Oh,
there
for
in
LeBlanc.
case one of them would get through it, try to come. Uh, that queue was intended.
Okay, that's actually a pretty good
Yeah.
call. They can't do Baron. You've got Kane dead.
We
Again,
got this guy as well.
I'd come here. Because
Yeah.
Ekko, he still doesn't. He now knows you're coming. But here he might go, oh, maybe I can 1v1 the Jax, or, you know, oh, I can easily get out of this. But here you get like a nice W here without him knowing. Jump over here, run through here, even chase here. And you also become aware of if anyone else is flanking. Because like this W doesn't do anything.
Nah, the W was
Yeah.
kind of a waste. I
Let's
just
do
tried to
a-
kite away from him for a sec. So. I just tried to kite away for a second, just to not let him heal.
Yeah. So this is actually a pretty good fight. Yeah, take blue buff. Try and take Scuttle if you can.
Nah, I just gave it to Jax.
Yeah. Oh, Jack's got it? Oh, okay.
Um,
Oh, no, I think...
I die again. But I'm actually just CC'd. So...
Yeah.
Right here, I actually got kinda tilted.
Yeah. So
I
again...
can say I kinda... Yeah, beat up my keyboard for a second.
So, like, here, I mean, obviously you can only see Draven and Kane, but right now they've got a pretty nice flank. You don't know where Blitz and LeBlanc are. But we can also see that Tristana and Soraka are nowhere near you. And Soraka's, you know, one of your biggest damage dealers now besides you. Soraka's like
Wait,
your healing.
Yeah?
So like this, like just trying to fight here is just weird. Like it doesn't really make sense. Like
No, it doesn't.
Scuttle's
Doesn't.
fine. Like going for Scuttle, like this positioning isn't really doing anything. Going for Scuttle's fine. But then like committing to this, you now see Blitzcrank. You still know that Tristana and Soraka are here. Oriana's, you know, here I guess. Kane, you know, is gonna flank you.
The only reason I committed here was because of the Jax.
Yeah. And again,
And I shouldn't have done it with him.
and Draven has GA as well, so like it's if you're gonna go for a GA Draven kill, you need to make sure that you can kill him the first time and the second time. Cause yeah. And now your Tristana and Soraka here are like, yeah, let's fight, and there's nothing. Particularly when it's soul, you just need to play it as well as you can. Because like any soul increases the whichever team's win rate by like 20, 30%.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, Infernal's not the like most OP, but oh, this Blitz is hitting everything. What is it with? Why does no one want to build Zhonya's this game? Even though Zhonya's on Ori would be nice.
Yeah, actually, the Ori build doesn't make sense.
It's such a good item.
But the Ori build actually didn't make sense.
Yeah. Oh my god.
I've never seen Ori not building Zonius. So.
Oh, that's actually see, like, and again, these two are like doing so much work. If you just fight with them, like obviously you're doing a lot of work as well, and you've got the 16 kills. But this Tristan, even the Ori's starting to do damage now. I mean, in that fight, you could see that she pretty much one-tapped Raven. And this is also a point where, like, okay, you're 16 and 8 and you do a lot of damage, but now, like, Oriana's come online, Tristana's come online, and Soraka makes team fighting really nice because she just heals you up, and you can actually play, like, a bit more. You might not always have to be the initiator. It could just be Jax, and then you come a close second, or it could even be Oriana with a ball. Like, trying to play with the Oriana ball on you even could work. Like, you jump in, get the ult, get a 3-man or something. But you don't really, you're always playing like a hero. Like, you need to make the choices, or you need to make the kill, or it's make or break. But in this game, like, your team is now proving that they can do stuff. particularly your Tristana and now your Orianna a little bit. So I think like a bit
Mm-hmm.
of trust as well isn't a bad thing. Obviously it's solo queue and like, but like Orianna I feel like has kind of proven herself. She's 4 and 10, but she's actually been like doing quite well in team fights. And like doing her job as well as she can considering how far she's behind. Do we get this Baron here?
Yes.
Oh, where's the health? Okay, don't have the health.
Oh yeah, she started doing the Nasher. Oh, you mean on a Nasher?
Yeah.
I thought you meant.
Yeah, but her health as well was a bit, well, we can't really analyze what happens here. Kane, okay, so it was low when Kane came in. Holy, this Tristana's got balls. Oh, never mind, just jumping.
she failed. She failed it.
This is actually a good fight. I mean, Oriana's obviously wanting to run. Oh my god. Does anyone have healing reduction?
Yeah, this. No, we're nothing.
No, Jax does.
That's actually a thing I should have done myself. Instead of having the void staff, I should have had
Yeah.
Morello, possibly.
Because,
But at the same time, I've been listening too much to what LS says about
Morello's.
void staff. Morello, yeah. So I'm like, nah, this item is just garbage. Let's just listen to
Fucking hell.
the one guy that kind of knows.
Yeah. No,
But when I realized that people were starting to build Liandris on Gragas, I was just like, nah, something's wrong.
Something's
And
wrong.
actually, I've started using. Yeah, have you seen a fucking Liandris thing on Gragas? No, there's some people there's. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Although instead of going Morello, people started going Liandris on Gragas jungle.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's actually interesting. I was like, what?
Is it
What is
work?
going on? No, not at all. That was EU Challenger. So I don't know what they were thinking, but
Yeah.
they did.
So you guys, I assume you guys are wanting to do a 4-1 split here. Is that kind of, obviously it probably wasn't communicated, it just naturally happened, but.
It's just not so.
And then Orianna backs for some reason. Is she buying? Nope, she's not even buying.
Didn't she get Liandris here?
Oh, okay. Yep, that's fine.
You see, she doesn't even build the Morello.
Yeah, she just builds the Oblivion Orb for the pen, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are just wasting Baron. This is, like, really bad. Like, what's the point in getting Baron if you're all just sitting in your jungle? Oh, nice. Failed.
I don't know.
You cannot E over that. Just use the cone.
You can E over it actually.
Can you? That?
Yeah. If you stay like just next to the wall, you get it. But I would
Okay.
I stuttered for a second, so I failed it.
Just use the blast cone. And why are you doing
Why
jungle
would
camps?
I?
You guys have Baron buff. There's no point in getting Baron buff if you're not going to use
I
it.
feel I'm getting bullied.
Okay, here we go. Let's prove it.
Okay.
Look at this Jax. He's literally dragging so many down.
We're still doing nothing. We actually did something here when
Yeah,
we
this is
realized that
actually
everyone was.
right.
Because we just realized that everyone is down there. Let's just push. Oh.
Yeah,
But
this
he
is actually
actually
so-
took their
that's so
entire.
weird.
He took
Yeah.
everyone down there.
See,
We just
that's
pushed
like the
down
power of
basically
Baron.
everything.
Yeah, they force.
We
Nice.
and I pretty much just one-shot the turrets with my E, so I didn't even care about the turret attacker. I was just like, fuck it, I want to end this game.
Yeah. They're quite smart aiming the Soraka.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. That damage is disgusting. No.
Yeah, Echoes.
Oh no. No. Oh, it's so fucking sad. Did she get out?
I can't remember, but I don't think so.
No. At least you get out. I hope.
Actually, this is a point where I could have ulted and killed everyone.
You reckon?
And yeah, I would have killed everyone if I ulted, because I had 2 stacks on LeBlanc, Blitz, and Draven at one point. So I was sitting there thinking, why the fuck didn't I just ult? We could have ended the game just by that, but I didn't. But at the same time, my Tristana died, so I just wanted to kind of defend.
Yeah.
So. And we end up running to base instead of using the Baron recall.
Yeah.
Would have been 10 times more effective.
Or
but
even just staying here to try and like scare them off this. I mean, it's fine because you guys reset and now get the empowered.
yeah, and here we can't really fight.
Okay, they don't get in here, so that's fine. That's work.
Nah, this is where the last fight actually happens.
Let's see what happens. Again, Tristana's not with you, so Baron's off. Tristana's not with you. This is like pretty fucking high risk at 38 minutes because like the next fight's gonna decide this. Someone's pinging back.
Yeah, we back off here.
Okay.
Yeah, we
This is
do
good.
back off.
Okay. Oh, everyone but the Ekko.
Yeah, but Ekko is the hero, isn't he? Just one-shot him. And here Jax just jumps in on Draven, so I'm like, I should just go back in.
Oh.
As well as here, I should have just stopped going for LeBlanc.
Yeah.
Because she's dead. And Draven is kind of...
Yeah, and this W, like, that W's not going to do anything on Lord Blank. She's going to either jump
Nope.
out or die before it even uses. Like, whereas if you get it here, you probably could have got the Blitzcrank. I mean, he dies anyway.
Yeah, but the Draven just mispositions a little bit. So he just get killed.
Very nice.
Like Q flash and he's dead.
Nice.
I actually did the Q flash there to, like, guarantee that he was dead. So... Because I think that if I didn't Q flash, he would have lived and possibly just killed both of us because he was so strong.
Yeah, and he's got flash. Again, like a little bit of micro, but that's kind of these creeps as well blocking. This is good positioning. I mean, this Draven's pretty nice. Okay.
Alright, just Q flash and he's dead. Disappears.
Yeah. Yeah.
He failed his auto. He failed his auto on me and
Yeah.
got Tristana instead.
Yeah.
So that kind of saved the fight as well.
Yeah.
That Tristana told me to fight with her, but I just said, nah, fuck it, I'm running now. And then I was kind of... I don't even know why I stopped up to take this wave. I didn't have to.
Yeah. Yeah. You just one-shot that turret.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how you end? Okay. Nice.
Yeah, we just run it down.
Nice. Fucking hell. 39-minute game. Look
I
at
mean,
fight
my team,
goes up over 100.
my team went to the surrender at 15, so... But I'm kind of like, I don't want to surrender if I know I can win, so... Oh, are you looking through my normal games that I've been rolling today?
I was gonna look at your score. So 18k, not bad. I mean, you definitely outscaled the Kane, which is good. They were ahead in gold like the entire game.
Yeah, they were at 8k at the
Yeah.
biggest, I think. 8.6k. We shouldn't have won this game,
No.
but we somehow did.
No one really played fucking like you. Obviously, you played pretty well, but everyone was fucking inting.
That's what I told the Tristan as well. Everyone's just inting.
Really good damage though. I mean, you out damage Kane by like over 10k.
Mm-hmm.
Vision scores
Vision
pretty
score is
abysmal.
pretty low.
Yeah, I
pretty
mean,
low.
Kane's is lower, but I mean, for a jungler to have a 34 vision score at 38 minutes, it's pretty bad.
But it also comes up to what champ I'm playing.
Yeah.
with my vision score. If I, for example, would have played Elise in this game, I could have been up in 100.
Yeah. But I mean, there were
But
also
that's
a
because
lot
of
of
the strong
areas where you
rewards.
could have used sweepers and we weren't using it.
Yeah. And actually had like I didn't have enough control wards. I had 3 control wards for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
That's really bad as well.
Yeah, and especially when you have so much income, you should just be buying controls, like 3 control wards in a 40-minute game. Obviously, you'll full build at the end, so you can't buy control wards, but
Mhm.
I mean, junglers should be buying more. I mean, this Kane isn't showing you a good example, but he was bad anyway. But like, you know what I mean? Control wards like
Yeah.
help a lot, particularly with your like, I feel like objective play is somewhere that you are a little bit weak on. In
Mhm.
terms of like trying to think like how can I access this, or how can I do this at a different angle or at a different way, rather than doing the way everyone expects and like the natural way. Like, can I somehow get around, particularly with a mobile jungler? Obviously it's not the same as like if you're playing UD or something, but with a mobile jungler, can I get a flank on here? Because if I get a flank with a W, I can change the outcome of this objective.
Mhm.
um But I also think, like, yeah, Rift Herald prioritization as well, you should start doing, because that gives you a much nicer, cleaner early game. And that's kind of what got these guys ahead and made sure they never actually lost a gold lead, was that 2 turret play almost getting inhib.
Mhm.
I mean, micro, I don't think that's much of a big deal. There was a couple of missed stutter steps, but, like, everyone does that. You could watch anyone. That pretty much happens.
Mhm.
Deaths were a little bit awkward, but I think it's because you build, not because of. I mean, I feel like you're almost playing an Ekko as if you have a Zhonya's or something defensive, but you don't. Like, there's a couple of times where you like what you almost know you don't have time to ult here, or you don't ult,
Mhm.
which I think is a bit of a problem.
Yeah.
And ganking early, I think, is also a thing. Obviously, you're playing catch up that game, but like ganking early and trying to gank your lane you're on comms with, taking 9 minutes for the first gank on a lane with comms is like pretty unacceptable, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. I agree.
Not saying you're a bad player or anything. It's just like, if you can abuse comms, abuse it. And those are
Mhm.
my main points. I don't know if you thought of anything else that you were not happy with, or.
Mm. Wait a sec. I have a cut in my face. I can you repeat it? I kind of got
Yep. So
distracted by this.
objective play, like setting up objective, positioning, outcomes, like understanding what outcomes am I happy with, what outcomes am I not happy with, and that can help with understanding, am I willing to die for this Baron? Am I willing not, like, I don't want to die for this Baron. So it's like, okay, that then affects my positioning. Do I want to suicide commit for this Baron? Yes, no. That again determines, okay, where should I be now? Here or there? Like, trying to figure out through like a series of like mini questions within like 1 to 2 seconds of what I want to do and what I want to achieve with this objective.
Mhm.
Rather than just being there because you have to be there, or being there because you think you got to be there. Be there for like a purpose and have like a goal you want to get that can be just beyond having to get the Baron at all costs, or just sitting in the position the enemy wants you to sit in. And then Rift Herald, like early game Rift Heralds, you had a couple of opportunities there where you knew the enemy jungler was nowhere near you, so the free Rift Herald is like on, and it's arguably like, I couldn't even name a more important objective pre 14 minutes besides maybe like
Mhm.
first blood, or like camping a lane if they TP back. Like, you get a kill on top lane, then they TP back, then you kill them again. That like pretty much results in a lane victory, but besides that, I think 14-minute Rift Herald is the easiest, most important objective on the game, and you don't even look for it once, which it's not like a game breaker, but it just makes early game and mid game transition so much easier. And that's probably the reason why this game went to 38 minutes, because they got so much gold off that one rift. with a tiny micro outplay by you guys. You went bot instead of realizing they had Rift and going top.
Mhm.
Micro, but I think you're pretty. I think you're pretty good with your micro. There was a couple like minion blocks and stuff that you can't really change. And then deaths, but I think that's your build path. So if you want to keep going that hyper aggressive build, that's fine. Up to you. I always like to go a bit defensive because it allows for a lot more. It allows for different play styles. If you go full damage, you have to do all the damage. But if you go as Zhonya's, you counter a bit of damage, but there's a lot more outplay. There's a lot more baiting you can do. There's a lot more just utility with the Zhonya's, and obviously that's up to you. If you don't like Zhonya's, that's fine. But have a reason for not getting Zhonya's besides, like, I see this guy. Like, I'm sure he's a great player, but you haven't played 5K games on Ekko, I'm assuming, and
Uh,
you're not a one-trick
uh,
Chinese guy who probably doesn't, like, eat or sleep. He just plays League.
uh,
So yeah, so that's just build preference and deaths. Ganking, just as I said, like 9 minutes to gank a lane you're on comms with, particularly when you're like this guy is such a good Tristana. It's like, well, why not just get him ahead? Because Draven was their biggest problem. I mean, actually LeBlanc was a big problem, but Draven was like one of their biggest problems in that game. And if
mhm.
you just camped your comms lane, that Draven never would have become a thing. Particularly with like a Soraka Tristana, that's a pretty like safe lane, and you could see that they were playing from behind, like for the first 10 minutes of the game, and they were doing so well. And I think just rewarding them with that for a gank because they were perma pushed in, is really worth it. And then flanking, like if you're playing a mobile jungler, look for flanks, look for alternate positions, look for other areas you can access a team fight or access an objective on. Don't just do the way, because everyone thinks you're going to be where you're meant to be. Like, everyone thinks you're going to be in front of turret trying to defend it with your Tristana, with your Soraka. But if you can somehow be in a brush, like, parallel to them, it just allows for so much more, again, utility that you can either come from behind, or if it's not on, you just walk back and come back to your turret. But not having vision of you and you in a position that's not where your allies is can be so like important and crucial. As long as you're like calculated and pretty calm headed, like you can make really good calculated decisions. Like, okay, I want the perfect W here. So you have like 2 or 3 second window to actually get the perfect W, rather than they'll see your W animation, they'll start backing off, they'll start predicting where you're going to put your W, and so there's so many more variables that just allow for much more one-dimensional play. Whereas if you have a flank position, there's a lot of dimensions to how you can access that team fight, or that defensive or defending a turret, etc., etc. But yeah, those are my big 6, I guess. But I mean, 8 deaths in 38 minutes, that's not too bad. There were just a couple of deaths that could have been prevented.
It could have been
Oh
quite a
my
bit.
god, 3.5k Dark Harvest. That's disgusting. Hide. Fuck, I love Ravenous Hunter, man. That's so nice. 10K,
Yeah, it's
10K
super nice.
healing. It's just insane. I can't believe it's
I
a
mean, you can't
secondary, like...
you can't really go Relentless Hunter and Ekko as well. It's not really good.
Yeah, some people go Ultimate Hunter, but, I mean, his cooldown's so low anyway.
Yeah, like level 16, my cooldown is like 20 seconds. So
Yeah.
why would I need it?
And then,
Just to reduce it to like 15?
yeah. And then
Not worth.
secondary tree, obviously Magical Footwear, Cosmic Insight's nice. Do you ever try Nimbus Cloak and Water Walking? Do you like, or you just don't?
No, I actually haven't tried it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd
But I
recommend
prefer having those
yeah.
like that CDR as well.
Yeah.
I kind of like having CDR.
The extra 5%. I'd recommend
Yeah.
trying it because it does allow you to get to places quicker, contest objectives more, because it gives you bonus movement speed and bonus adaptive damage in the river, which is every dragon, every baron. And Nimbus Cloak, like obviously Ekko has a lot of speed, so he doesn't necessarily need it, but I just think Nimbus Cloak on junglers now at the moment is just so strong until they nerf it. But magical
Yeah, Nimbus
footwear,
Cloak is
yeah,
Nimbus Cloak in general. It's just broken at
yeah,
moments.
yeah. And magical footwear,
I,
cosmic insight. That's the standard jungle secondary. So like, there's nothing wrong with it. Just if you are feeling like mixing it up a little bit, or
yeah, I could possibly try it.
yeah,
It doesn't seem bad. It's just
yeah.
yeah.
And again, it won't be a game breaker, or it won't, revolutionize League of Legends, but
Hmm.
you could just feel better, could feel worse. You can also access boots when you want, rather than having to wait for the 9 minutes. Obviously, you don't
Hmm.
usually go boots pre-10 on junglers unless there's nothing else to buy.
Mm.
Yeah, that's kind of all I have to say.